Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Tyler Stratton. Very somber day in the sports world. Kobe Bryant passed away at the age of 41 after a helicopter crash. Him and his 13-year-old daughter. Just an absolute tragedy. First and foremost, we know, all about the accolades in Kobe Bryant's basketball career, but the real tragedy here is you have Vanessa Bryant, who's now a widow and who has lost a child. I mean, she had a pain that I could not even imagine, and she has a very long road going ahead, and that needs to be first and foremost in all the victims. You had a baseball coach, you had a young girl who was also on Kobe Bryant's daughter's team, a mother of her, a father of that young girl. A very tragedy, and that's the most important thing, is the lives lost in the long road family members have going forward. Just an absolute tragedy. And when something like this happens, I've been in prep for doing this video. I was trying to write a script and I was trying to think. My mind is too cluttered to do that, so I'm just gonna do my best up here, because being a diehard sports fan, this one hurts. Kobe Bryant was an icon. He was a sports icon. He was a global icon. He was huge internationally. He was huge in China. The dream team of 1992 kind of started the international wave when they took the talents overseas, Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and those. And Kobe Bryant has kind of carried that torch, him and LeBron James. And why was Kobe so revered, globally, and of course here in the United States when it comes to, he plays a sport. He had a unique will to win, a drive, a competition streak. He just would do anything to win, which developed in the Mamba mentality, doing whatever you can, putting in the hard work, the dedication at your craft, perfecting your craft. And when the best player in the world is the hardest working player in the world, that is a huge inspiration and should be huge inspiration to others. Kobe Bryant came into the league, I think I was 12 or 13 years old. I wasn't cerebral enough, during the Michael Jordan peak years of the early 90s. I was too young to really see what was going on. But I got to watch Kobe Bryant grow as a basketball player, grow from the supremely confident young pup who was willing to take on any challenge to the global icon, the 5-time champion, and he matured as a man and as a father. We kind of saw that over the years. He came into the organization, I believe, in 96, because he's so young. But what I will remember is his breakthrough moment when I first noticed this guy's going to be a star. This guy is just got a different kind of mentality. The 2000 NBA Finals against the Pacers. I'm from Indiana. I'm a Pacer fan. Lakers were up 2-1 in the series. Game 4, a pivotal game. It's in Indianapolis. I remember watching it. I still remember where I was. And I think in significant sports moments, where if you remember where you were 20 years ago during a game, that's big time. Kobe took over the overtime period. Shaq fouled out, and this was Shaq at his absolute peak. Shaq fouled out in overtime, and Kobe took over in the extra frame and led them to a win. Hit huge jump shots, had a huge tip in on a Brian Shaw miss. He just did whatever was needed to do to win that basketball game, and that's when I first saw that Kobe Bryant Mamba mentality as we now come to know it. And then, the next year, he's 22 years old, and he averages damn near 30 points a game. So, a lot of people say it was just the Shaq show. He won him because of Shaq. No, Kobe Bryant had a hell of a year, 2000-2001, when they won their second title. Instrumental in that championship run. They would get another title. He would end up getting 3 with Shaq. And then when Shaq left, he had those years where he just was a scoring threat, unlike anything we have seen since Michael Jordan, averaged almost 36 points a game. The 81-point game, which I have watched 100 times on YouTube, just unbelievable moment. He had the 62-point three-quarter game. He could have scored 80 in that game, and he was just a man on a freaking mission. That was peak offensive Kobe Bryant. Paul Gasol came in. They lost the finals to the Celtics in 08, and he was so driven after those finals to get a championship, to prove the doubters he could win one without Shaq. In the 2009 season, it was all about him putting in whatever work needed to be done to get a championship. I go back and watch a lot of Kobe Bryant YouTube videos. There's only a few athletes I do that for. I do it with Jordan. I do it with Steph Curry. I do it with Dan Marino, just the prolific athletes of our time. Kobe Bryant put on a show in those playoffs against the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. Game 6, he torched the Nuggets for almost 40 points and just absolutely took away their heart, their will. He dominated that series to get to the finals. And then just the other night, I was watching the finals press conference. I watch his videos all the time. And in Game 1 of the finals against Orlando Magic, he just went off for 48 and 8. And the reporter asked him after a blowout win, "Why aren't you happy? Why aren't you smiling?" And he said, "What's there to be happy about? Job's not finished. I'll be happy when the job's finished." He was my era's Michael Jordan. So he gets the title in Orlando. That was such a huge achievement for him. He finally got the Finals MVP. He got that 4th ring. And then he followed it up the next year with title number 5, which gave him one more than Shaq. And in the Western Conference Finals against Phoenix, he took over that series too. In Game 6 at Phoenix to put his team in the finals, delivered an epic performance, hitting big shot after big shot. And when the challenge was at its highest, that's when Kobe Bryant shined. Then after he tears his ACL in the 12-13 season, he walks to the free throw line, nets 2 free throws. When the game was at its biggest moment, you knew Kobe Bryant was going to sink the free throw. And then to end it, and what I think is the best Kobe Bryant singular moment, the 60-point game. I mean, it's ludicrous, at that age, after, all the miles, going against a Utah team that was a playoff caliber team, to drop 60, that was just unbelievable. And he did what he did his whole career. In the game, biggest moments in that Utah game in the 4th quarter with the game on the line, he willed them to win that basketball game and got 60 points. All these memories is what I'm going to remember for Kobe Bryant. And it's sad because he was embarking on the 2nd act of his career post-basketball. He won the Academy Award. He was an astute businessman. Who knows where he would have went after this. He was doing detail with ESPN Plus where he was breaking down players' games. He's just an icon, a global icon because of the hard work, obviously the basketball achievements. He was just the man, and I'm going to miss the Mamba. And we should celebrate his legacy and remember all the good things he did, most importantly as a father to those young girls. Rest in peace to the Black Mamba.